guys, I'm Josh Horowitz, and we're in a strange Las Vegas hotel room with the amazing cast and director of Baby Driver. Hey, Edgar.
Hello, world.
This is Edgar Wright. You know him, the amazing filmmaker behind the Cornetto trilogy, Scott Pilgrim, and now Baby Driver, of course, Ansel Elgort and Mr. Jon Hamm. So the movie is Baby Driver. I sadly have not seen this amazing piece of work. It recently premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival. Give me a sense first, Edgar. This one goes back a little bit of a ways for you. What are the origins of Baby Driver?
Yeah, in a weird way, it's the sort of the oldest idea I've had in terms of I heard this song when I was at 22, which is actually the opening song in the movie, and I just visualized this car chase whilst listening to a song called Bell Bottoms by the John Spencer Blues Explosion. And I didn't really know what that idea was, but over the years it sort of like fermented into this idea about a young getaway driver who cannot really do his job properly without the right music playing. And I eventually started, maybe about 10 years ago, I started doing research for it, and then I did the first draft of the script like 5 years ago. And so the idea is as old as Ansel is, which is amazing.
I just turned 23, man.
Okay, so yeah, there you go.
1 year less.
But it's amazing. So it's like it's something that I've been thinking about for such a long time, and it's one of those nice things where you get to make a labor of love movie with a studio, and I'm really happy with it, and these guys are great in it.
How were you guys describing this to friends, colleagues when you signed on to this? Because everything I know about it, and obviously any Edgar Wright film is unique. It can't be really put in another genre, another box that easily. What did you say to your friends when you signed on to this? What were you doing? What was the job?
It was actually pretty hard to describe at first because it was just a script with music. The music was already there when I read the script, and I thought it was so cool. But I wasn't exactly positive how it was going to come together. But this genius right here put it together in the most amazing way. And
Thank
now,
you.
John, I think.
You know who started
He's
out.
a genius too. But
now I describe it to them as it's like a car chase movie driven by music. It's like watching one epic music video.
Yeah.
The entire time. And it's like it just every moment is perfect and moves to the beat of the music, and it moves amazing. Yeah.
John,
And I was just pleased that it was something original. I mean, in the age that we live in now where everything's sort of some sort of rebranded or repackaged piece of intellectual property, that this was its own thing that stands on its own and is its own original piece of movie making.
Right.
And those things are fewer and farther between these days, especially coming out of the studio system. So it was really great to get to work with tremendously talented people and to have a studio and people that were willing to take the risk and say, like, you know what, we think this is a good idea, and I'm thrilled with how it turned out. I'm glad I made the cut. Glad I'm still in it. But yeah, it was just exciting, and I'd known Edgar for a long time. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'm in it. But I've known Edgar for quite some time, and I was really thrilled to get an opportunity to work with him and get to know this one.
So not to reduce this to a simplistic level, but for the emoji generation, how would we define this film in emojis?
Well, a
Smiley.
baby in a car.
Yeah,
is
a
pretty
baby car
easy.
driver, or
People have
just
been doing that to me on Twitter, thinking that's pretty good. Just a baby's face in a car, Baby Driver.
And then a music emoji with the notes.
Yes, that's good.
You
Yeah,
do the notes.
and the smiling poop.
I used a puff of smoke too.
Yes, that's good.
I do like a baby, a
Baby.
car, a puff of smoke with then a cop car chasing the. Puff
Oh,
of
that's
smoke.
Buddy,
good.
this is
Then-
It's really developing.
Wow.
then
yeah.
some notes.
Where does
I've
this-
done it before?
Where does the smiley poop come in though? Right at the
I
end.
don't put any poop in there, John.
Missed
That's
missed
all,
opportunity.
That's all other movies.
That's every movie except for ours. I just describe it with a poop emoji.
So are all the musical cues in the script? Like every single song in the script?
They were, yeah. We I wrote all the songs into the script, and we had this kind of special app where the script had the songs kind of baked into it, because I wanted people to experience it as you would do the movie. Is that like, oh, this song is playing for the whole of this scene, and this song is playing for the whole of this scene. So I think when these guys read it, or certainly when Ansel read it, like, you were able to read it with all the songs right in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's what the experience of the finished film is. So it was also something that we cleared all of the songs before we started shooting,
Right.
because then we did choreography to them. So it wasn't a case of like with other movies where you might slap some cool track on afterwards. It's like we listened to the songs on set. They were either playing out loud or they were in people's ears. But all the choreography was done to the music.
Gotcha.
The cool thing about the music, though, is that it's not like in other movies you might slap a ironic sounding track on there that makes it sound really cool because it's not quite right for the scene. But in this, the reason why the music exists is because the leading character, Baby, has that's me, by the way, I'm the leading character, has headphones on the entire time or is playing music through the stereo in the chases, and he always has to listen to music because he has a ring in his ear, a tinnitus that he developed when he was in a car accident when he was 7. He lost both his parents, and he, as a result, had got this ring in his ear, and he has to listen to music all the time to drown it out. And the whole movie is kind of like you hear it through his ears and you kind of see it through his eyes too. That music is actually what he's hearing. So it's not just like, oh, it's the soundtrack. It's actually what is going on in the movie.
I'm curious, like in real life, do all of your musical tastes overlap? Did you teach each other anything? Did you introduce each other to any bands, any acts, anything at all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I learned a lot. I knew a bunch of the acts, but not all of them. In fact, like I have now some of the Baby Driver soundtrack on my phone. I actually still buy music sometimes. Actually, isn't that funny? But I
too.
And have you introduced anything to Edgar? Any of your tastes?
Well, we talked a bit about the music that you were producing at the time when you were doing a lot of kind of EDM. Would that be correct?
Yeah, like clubby music.
Clubby music and stuff. So we talked about electronic music and stuff. And I mean, the soundtrack is pretty diverse. It's all sort of older. I like the idea that like Baby has sort of inherited other people's record collections because he's stolen quite a few cars, and so he has other people's iPods. And one of the things that me and Ansel bonded over actually was I think that Ansel has some like older kind of like like songs that he's into, and there's even one song that's in the movie because it was like not an audition piece. I actually sprang it on Ansel. I said we were doing a sort of mucking around in the audition, and I said, what song do you know all the lyrics to? What song could you lip sync right now?
And in that moment, I was like, oh no, I only know like songs that have no lyrics and are just like club beats. Because
you did have one.
Because I was so into it, but then I thought about a song that I really do like.
Which was Easy by the Commodores. And I was like, oh, interesting. And so I had it on my like laptop, and then we shot a little audition piece to that. And I sprang on him. It wasn't something where I told him to bring a track that you could lip sync, and he did know all the lyrics off by heart.
Amazing.
So I was very impressed. I think that was really the clincher for him getting the part.
So we're all aware, of course, of Solo. Have you come up with DJ names for these guys? What would their monikers be?
I have a DJ name from Spaced, because we did a Space Clubbing episode, and my DJ name is Edgar Right Here Right Now.
Do you approve?
Edgar right here, right now. Right here.
Because
right
of the
now.
Jesus Jones thing, or what was it?
That's pretty dope.
It's also Fatboy Slim as well.
Right here,
right now.
right now.
Oh,
Yeah, of course, yeah. What about for John?
Oh,
Should we
man.
coin
Now,
up?
if I'm understanding this correctly, a DJ is a disc jockey.
Yeah.
Huh. That seems
Yeah,
interesting.
but these days you use your computer and stuff. to
Yeah,
make songs.
well, I'd rather do it the other way. I'd just rather
Got
jockey
to
some
be
discs.
a great ham music
And,
pun, surely.
There definitely is.
I don't know.
I feel like
Get back to me. I'll sit here and think about it.
No worries. The actual.
Wait, your DJ name is DJ
No, it was no. It's not DJ Ansel. It's just Ansel.
Ham Solo. So
Could
why am
you-
I not Ham Solo?
All right.
How?
Okay, you're Ham Solo.
I was going to go
Double.
for Ham Master J.
Oh, nice.
There are a lot of possibilities.
Okay,
That's all we need to
yeah,
say.
we can scratch the surface on this a little bit more.
The chases themselves, the car chases, the physicality of kind of bringing that to life. As I understand, this is not CGI born. This is practical stuff. Give me a sense of what it was like to shoot, what it was like to go through this.
I mean, we did a lot of prep. We had an amazing stunt team fronted by Darren Prescott and also Robert Nagel and this amazing driver, Jeremy Fry, who is, I think we all like sort of think is the coolest guy on this earth. Just as he's the, it really is the kind of like the sort of the ace kind of driver. So he taught these guys a bunch of tricks, and then really, having done some car action before, but being a big fan of car chases, I have even more admiration for the people who pull that stuff off, because it is this arduous, to shoot is fun to watch. Every shot is complicated, and we made a couple of decisions, or rather, I made a couple of decisions, which made it extra tough, but also yield great results. And that would be all of the car chases are in daylight, and they're all on public roads. So that's a sort of, you see in a lot of movies when you have like a car chase, like in the nighttime at the docks.
Right.
There's a reason for that. It's easy to do.
Right.
Doing stuff in the daylight in the Midtown Atlanta or on the I-85 freeway, which is the main kind of freeway in Atlanta, that's a big deal. And but I think the results look really great. So it was tough, and it was definitely like arduous, like sort of just shooting these scenes. But you guys could talk a little bit about being out on the roads, driving at 80 miles an hour.
I wanted to drive more myself, but they would never let me. Mostly because I had like Jon Hamm and Jamie Foxx in the car. They were like, "You can."
Yeah, we were really excited for you to drive more.
Anytime they were like, "Okay, you're just gonna pull up to this mark right here," I would like floor it and like pull the e-brake just up to the mark. I just wanted to drive.
John, how were you feeling in the back during those moments?
John does some driving too.
No, it was as Edgar was saying, it was really thrilling. I mean, that was a big part of all of that was because it was happening live. The reactions were very genuine. When you're going sideways at 40 miles an hour and shredding tires and all that stuff, your heart rate gets up a little bit, and it's exciting. I mean, it really is. It's, as Edgar said, there's a lot of preliminary and preparatory work that goes into it just for safety's sake. Yeah. But the result is really quite thrilling, and you don't have that kind of remove that you sometimes have with a CGI sort of situation, because you're like, cars don't fly, and you can't surf in a car. Like there's a little like thing of like you just kind of check out sometimes. But when it's and Edgar and I were talking about it too with something like Fury Road. When you really see that stuff, it just becomes this visceral.
Totally.
You find yourself getting really, really wound up in it.
In a good
yeah,
way.
in a good way.
Well, congratulations on the film, guys. I can't tell you how excited I am to see it, judging by the early reaction. It's as good as hoped. Thanks for stopping by this random hotel room in Las Vegas.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Enjoy your CinemaCon. That's where we are, and I'm sure we'll talk down the road.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Facebook. Yeah, bye.